Well, from serving our country in the United States Air Force to serving our community as a Wiley ISD school board member, Cameron Wiley's dedication runs deep. He's also a very familiar face among local volunteer organizations, always stepping up to make a difference. Cameron, thank you for taking time to join us on this special Veterans Voices edition of KTAB.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You are a pretty busy person.
I am. I didn't know you had all those videos.
We have. So obviously a lot of those videos go back a while.
Long time.
Yeah. I remember starting in 2015 doing a lot of stories with you, and you've kind of worked your way up through your military service, now serving our community. So first, let's talk about that military service and kind of how you got involved with the Air Force and what made you want to join to kind of where you are now.
Yeah, so I actually joined in 2004, and I'll be honest, it was kind of one of those, you get into your senior year of high school and not really sure what to do. You know, my grades weren't good enough to get into college. I mean, I'm sure I could have if I put my mind to it. But what really did it for me was I had one of my best buddies. He joined the Army, and he spent the day going to sign up and the processing station and everything. He came back the next day with an Army shirt on. Didn't even tell me he was joining, and that kind of lit a fire on me to, okay, we need to figure something out. And so I was going to join the Army with him, and my dad kind of was like, hey, let's go talk to the Air Force recruiter. Let's just do me that favor. Let's go talk to the Air Force recruiter. So I did, and then that was pretty much it. And so I left, joined in 2004, my second semester, my senior year, and then left maybe 2-3 months after graduation.
And you did some recruiting, right? That was one of your duties.
Did 7 years in recruiting.
I've heard that's pretty tough to get, kiddos to join the military. So how was that for you?
You know, I came from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I was at Nellis Air Force Base, and then I went straight into recruiting in Athens, Texas. And so going from Las Vegas to Athens, Texas and East Texas was a little bit of a culture shock, but it was the closest I can get to DFW. I wanted to try to get close to home because I'd already been overseas and done all that. And it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. I was by myself, had 27 high schools and a lot of windshield time. And it took about a year to kind of get the hang of it. But once I figured out the community and the culture out there and really how to engage from a networking perspective, I was able to really do pretty well.
So you've done 20 years in the military, 20 years in the Air Force, right? 20 years.
20 years.
You just recently, I say recently, but you told me 14 months ago is when you finally retired.
Yep.
You made your announcement. How's it feel? You've been out 14 months.
I feel like I haven't really slowed down to really take it all in. You know, I had this conversation with somebody the other day talking about how is it, whatever. And yeah, I've been very blessed. I had a very blessed career. Yeah, I did overseas stuff and all that, but I had it pretty good compared to a lot of my buddies. And but even still, there's something about spending 20 years in a uniform, being with the same people in that same uniform for as long as you have, and then all of a sudden you blink, you go to sleep, you wake up, and you're not in that uniform anymore.
Yeah.
And so the hard part has really been trying to adjust to a lot slower, I guess, pace.
Slower pace, yeah.
But also not having that camaraderie I think you get with the military has been a little bit. It's been a little bit tough to adjust to, but we're doing all right.
So what do you say to veterans out there, especially those who maybe live in Abilene, how to get connected and how to make that transition a little bit easier?
Yeah, well, I think the best part about our community here in Abilene, not just here in Abilene, but in the entire big country, is there's such a huge retirement community here. I mean, a lot of people joke about Abilene and it being in the middle of Texas, but when you get to Dias and you spend time there, you realize how great of a community it is. And I think myself and a lot of others that you may be talking to today would probably agree that, you kind of fall in love with this place. But that's the blessing that we have is there's so many organizations in our small little tight-knit community that it's really easy to plug in all over the place. So.
And now that you are out, you are getting your master's degree thanks to the military, right?
Yes, I am. Getting my master's I grew up a massive Texas Longhorn fan, and I just happened to be going to Texas A&M.
Now you're Nagy. Look, he's got the ring. He's got the ring to prove it.
Yeah,
they put a ring on it, right?
They did. But it's been great. They've been great. But none of this would not have happened without the military and the benefits I've gotten from that. My daughter is actually at Texas A&M as well, same time. She's a sophomore down there using the GI Bill, and so I've been able to give that to her, and because I'm from Texas, I'm able to use the Hazelwood Act, and so I would not be going to college right now if it weren't for those benefits. And so very, now that I'm retired, looking back, it makes it that much more worth it to see what we've gotten for our time.
All right, Cameron, thank you for your service to our community and to our country.